Alright folks, what the shite is a ST-62 version number 2? Historical reference not found. What the hell is a version number 1 but premium tier 9 Russian light tank? So we're starting the new year off with a couple of new tanks on the Supertest server. And this one is more of a combat oriented light tank with above average penetration by like 20mm and above average alpha, so comparable to the WZ-132A. So combat oriented, but in the span of 5 seconds you have 3 rounds of the 100mm dealing 900 alpha burst. That is pretty good. You will kill a ELC-EVEN if you manage to hit. So not a bad light tank gun. Accuracy could be better, 0.38. 2.5 seconds of aim time is also not that great, but it's a large caliber gun on a light tank chassis. And speaking of the chassis, kinda looks like a 274A that got smushed into a bite-sized package. Also the sides kinda look like a 907 too. It has the ridgeline and possibly space armor. That is pretty nuts. Turret design is also sleek, low commander cupola profile, it's rounded too. How the hell do you manage to fit 4 crew members and 55 rounds of the 100mm into this small of a package? What? What? You also have a 600 horsepower engine too, weighing at 38 tons. Wow! I mean, how big or how small are your crew members? Jesus. Alright. 6 degrees of gun depression, the bane of Russian tank designs. So not the greatest, but it's better than 5 or 3. 20 elevation, 55 rounds of the 100mm, crew of 4, fits all the Russian light tanks. That's good. You need one for the tier 10, but that's alright. You need I think it was the loader is missing on the tier 10. Mobility wise, could be better, 65. I think it's 69 for the T-54 lightweight, so a little bit slower, but it's alright. Reverse of 25, okay, decent. Horsepower per turn ratio is below average by like 4 or so. Usually it's about 35 or so. Hull traverse 60, fast. Turret traverse 52, slower but still fast. Health is alright at tier 9 for a light tank. 80 at the hull front, 50 at the hull sides, 40 at the rear, 190 at the turret front, and 70 at the sides. So, combat light tank. It doesn't need your teammates' support as often as other light tanks, right? So not as team dependent, which is a good thing, but 390 meters of view range, average, radio, standard. Ooh, how the hell do I feel about this thing? It's such a medium tank design, but it is a light tank with a long ass gun too. I mean, the placement of the turret makes it look like almost rear mounted on the sides of the vehicle chassis. Smushed 274A practically. Yeah, it's a smushed 274A. Also, the camouflage is about the same as the 274A. Now, it is a light tank which keeps the camo while moving, but the camo is close to that of a T-54 lightweight. So, combat light tank, if you prefer. But here's the main comparison with the other light tanks and the 274A. So accuracy is about the same. About the same across the board. Not comparable to the 90mm, obviously. DPM is little above average. It's okay. About 2000. Camo comparable to the WZ and the T-54 lightweight. Better than the T-49. Obviously. Not as good as the AMX-13s or the EBR for that matter, but yeah, it's close to the 274A in terms of camo. Same view range too. Holy crap. So not as good as the other allied view range. I thought this thing also had like 400 or something. The GSOR is disappointing. It has the camo, but okay. Well, penetration is good, above average, so that's nice. About 200mm is the average. Yep. Ooh. How the hell do I feel about this thing? It is a premium tank, and capable premium tanks that doesn't rely on teammates are scarce, for that matter. Shell velocity, not bad for APCR, and high explosive anti-tank. High explosive deal more alpha than the usual, so surprising. Alright, 33% more. And nothing really out of the ordinary, so all's quiet on the eastern front. There's a new logo for this thing. What the hell is this? A clip? I think this is for the machine guns? They have a overheating system, so this is not for the machine gun. Oh! This is for the Char Model 75 with the burst gun. So this is the burst. And that's for the turbo mode. Alright, we figured that out. So all's quiet on the eastern front. Nothing really out of the ordinary. It's a combat light tank with an auto-reloader. But with a 100% crew, you have a better accuracy. Crew bonus from the commander. So 0.36 accuracy, 2.4 seconds of aim time, dramatically a little bit better than on paper, baseline stats. So DPM is about 2,100, and it's not bad. I mean, I played a few light tanks throughout the holiday ops. Either you focus on combat and become a medium tank, or you become a stealthy son of a bitch, like a AMX-13 or ELC EVN. So there's two mostly different playstyles, but it seems that the matchmaker will not separate a light tank of a normal design into a EBR design. So you'll always match up. If you're playing an EBR, you'll always match up with another EBR. If you're playing an actual tank, you always match up with another tank. So it won't be lopsided where EBR versus an actual tank, for that matter. But if it's going up against another light tank, then this thing will definitely have the advantage of the gun. Definitely. It's also Russian auto-reloader, so you'll basically kill the stuff in one burst if you manage to hit all the shells, right? So the only downside is to soft stats like dispersion and terrain resistance, which the 274A has terrible, god-awful terrain resistance, but I don't think this vehicle is related. It could be, but it might not be. So speaking of which, here is the 274A. Terrain resistance, god-awful. So you want additional Ghauser for this thing. So I doubt these two vehicles are related, but you have to wait and see the actual terrain resistance and dispersion factors. But let's take a look at equipment for this thing. And how the hell do you modify it? So let's take a look. Going back to my T-54 lightweight. Surprisingly, it doesn't have a tag, but then again, all light tanks are either versatile or just cars. There's no difference, but with the actual screenshots, there's no tag. Yeah, there's no tag for this vehicle, so it's a versatile but small detail. Only affecting like tank destroyers or heavy tanks or medium tanks, so not that big of a deal. But first one is for view range bonus. Likely optics for the safe bet. It works on everything. You could go with low exhaust system, but optics is likely the best. You're a combat light tank, so you will probably be spotted more often than something of a ELC EVN or AMX-13. You could go with commander view range system, which is surprisingly pretty good nowadays. I will choose optics. I would choose turbocharger for the second one. There's a speed boost for the second slot at high tier. Speed boost. What the hell is speed boost? Depending on terrain resistance, you could also use Ghausers for that matter. You could use vents, but this is it's more useful for heavier tanks. So I would say turbocharger or grousers for the second slot. And final slot, you cannot put a rammer. That's out of the question. You could put vertical stabilizer to help out with dispersion while shooting the gun. Or you could use commander view range system to help out with the camo negation or the actual low exhaust. No low noise exhaust system, so help out with your camo. So one of these two, which is pretty decent. You could go with the vertical stabilizer and just focus on damage, or even improve aiming with baseline accuracy. Wow, 0.4 for the T-54 lightweight. That is pretty bad. It's alright for a light tank, but it's also 100mm. Why does it have the lower alpha? Is it 85? It's not 85, is it? It's a 100mm. Why does it have only like tier 8's 100mm alpha? That sucks. Oh, okay. So yeah, definitely go with the optics, turbocharger, and one of the commander view range or exhaust systems. But let's take a look at field modifications. They're all the same. So first one is engine power or top speed. Now, this thing has lower than the average engine power or horsepower per ton ratio. It's alright, but wait, what? Whoa. 600 horsepower, 38 tons, horsepower per ton ratio of only 16? Since what? You said 31. I have it as 16. Wait, is it a medium tank? I mean, I'm not Russian, but I can guess. 30. Well, then again, 600 divided by 4. Yeah, that's nowhere near. Guys, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. It's only 15.8 horsepower per ton ratio. Oh man. How the hell did I miss that? Well, it's a medium tank at this point, isn't it? It's a medium tank. You're classified as a light tank. Oh no. Yeah, 600 divided by say 40, right? That's 15 or so. Oh no. I mean, it could weigh 38 tons. I mean, this thing is 30-ish tons for the T-54 lightweight. But it only has 600 horsepower compared to the 1,000 on the T-54 lightweight. Oh no! Either this page is wrong or the actual preview is wrong. It's more or less this preview is wrong. That dramatically changed the vehicle. Holy crap. If it's 16 horsepower per ton ratio, I'm totally wrong about stuff. Then obviously go with more engine power at that point. Definitely go with the more engine power. You could cut the top speed. 16 is not the greatest for a light tank. You're more of a medium tank at that point. Yeah, more horsepower per ton ratio at that point. God no. Alright, aim circle size or reload time. The reload time buff doesn't help that much. I mean, it is an auto reloader, but it doesn't really help that much compared to the accuracy boost. 0.02 for accuracy is kind of big deal, so I will go with better accuracy. Cut to DPM is only like 100 or so, not that much. Reverse speed or crew protection and high explosive protection. Better reverse speed, just don't get hit. In my opinion, just don't get hit. And we are going to tier 7, unlocking an extra boost to your mobility. We'll check that out on tanks.gg. But optics or view range, concealment or view range. At this point, you have a combat medium tank's camo, so you don't have that good of a camo. Unless you're going for scouting, I would say better view range. I mean, it cuts to 14 baseline for the T-54 lightweight. It's alright, unless you just solely go for the combat, but you can also put the low noise exhaust system, which helps out with the camouflage rating. I say better view range. It helps sell with like city maps where you don't need that much camo, where you're at close range and stuff. But yeah, I'm disappointed at the, at the horsepower per ton ratio. What the? You guys mess up. It's not 31.6. It would be great if it was 31.6. It's not. Oh. So how much would I rate this thing? Now it's only like a medium tank with low health, but it has an autoloader. 221 millimeters of pin for a medium tank at tier 9 is not the greatest when you think about it. It's good for a light tank. It's not the greatest for a medium. Let's just use another Russian medium tank with an auto-reloader at tier 9 for comparison. So where is the 590 Russian? I wanted to have this vehicle in the game. No, they don't want to add it for some reason. So it's about the same as a Russian medium tank gun. This thing has about the same alpha, about the same pin. Reload time is 8, 14, and 18 compared to 8, 12, and 15. So a little bit slower of a reload, but more alpha to compensate. Accuracy is not as good, aim time is not as good, but better DPM. Alright. Slower traverse, obviously. Mobility wise, this thing has more horsepower per ton ratio. Also has better hull front and better turret front armor, as expected, but it's bigger. Only a 3-man crew. Yep, only a 3-man crew. Compared to your 4-man crew for a smaller vehicle for some reason. About the same camo, less view range. What? Okay. You perform with more crew members than this thing. Surprisingly. Both of them have the auto-reloader gun. Okay. 4.3 shells per what? Oh, 4.3 seconds between each shot? That sucks. Okay. Oh well. Okay. Why does it have such a low horsepower? Okay. It may weigh a little bit less. That might be a typo. Or the actual thing might be a typo. Everything might be a typo. This might be a typo, but if it's a medium tank, I'm giving it a maybe 5.5 out of 10. It's pretty on average, right? I mean, you have less health than a light tank, than a medium tank, by like almost half, or at least 40%, 30% or so, right? That is insane. You have 600 health less than a medium tank at same tier, so you need to have that mobility, but you have the same horsepower per ton ratio. A little bit better top speed, but still, that is typo? Question mark? Alright, so there we go, folks. I'll rate it at 5.5 if it's 15.8 horsepower per ton ratio. If it is a 31.6 horsepower per ton ratio, I will rate it a 7. That's how big of a difference the thing goes. But that is crazy. So for now, we'll have to wait for the actual stats, but the previews, the Wargaming does forum previews, like with this page, often get stuff wrong. Like crew member missing, or shells missing, or something. So they have it edited, and obviously there are typos, so I don't really trust this page compared to this page, so it's like a 5.5 or so. Maybe a 5 for that matter. Ugh. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We'll cover the 𝙈𝙤𝙤𝙤 next time once all the pictures come out. But as always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.